end this video, but let's talk about Barca and Newcastle really quickly, because I think today from Barca, we saw the good, the bad, and the ugly. We saw the ugly in the first half where, although Barca took the lead twice in this game, Newcastle came back 2 separate times, and the defending on both goals was absolutely pathetic, allowing Elanga twice to get through on goal and finish off chances to get his side back in the game. And there were even a few other occasions where Anthony Gordon or Barnes or Elanga were allowed space and time to get into the final third, and it was only really, again, last-ditch tackles from Martin or clearances from John Garcia that kept Newcastle at bay. That was the ugly. The bad comes in potentially John Garcia missing a sustained amount of time. Now, there's been reports that it's just a calf tear. I say just. That means that he's going to miss the next few weeks. And potentially, does that align with the Champions League fixtures against Atletico Madrid in the next round? If so, that's a big concern. Because I think John Garcia is in the top 3 most important players for this Barca side. Not only in terms of how he saves chances, but also in terms of how high risk, high reward Barca play. You need a goalkeeper like John Garcia to play that way. And I don't think you can have the same success with all due respect, Wojciech Szczesny in goal. He's been a good backup, but he's not John Garcia. So that was the bad, but let's talk about the good. Guys, Barcelona remained the biggest enigma in sports for me. I can't work these guys out because just when you think you got them figured out, they just hit you with a performance sometimes that's like, you're capable of this all the time. This is the beauty and the flaw of Barca. Defensively, they can concede against anybody. Anyone, if they are set up well enough, can score goals against Barca. It doesn't matter if you're Newcastle, it doesn't matter if you're Real Madrid, it doesn't matter if you're Elche, you could be, I don't even know, SDSFC. You probably can get a chance off against Barca. That's how they play defensively. But when these guys click going forward, I'm sorry, they're the best show on earth. There is not a better offensive team when you are at full flow than FC Barcelona. And it showed in this tie. Because although the first half was tight, they still scored 3 goals. And then in the second half, the way they took control of that football game and absolutely blitzed Newcastle. I'm sorry, guys. I need to ask you guys seriously this now, right? Let's have an honest conversation. Yes, better teams will take the chances that Newcastle might have missed in the first half. But is there any team on the planet that would score 7 goals against Newcastle United in one game? Let's actually ask that here. What other team is scoring 7 in one game against Newcastle? Guys, that's insane. Right? I know Newcastle aren't having the best season, but they're no schmucks. They're no rollovers. I mean, they're in actually decent form when it comes to the last 3 or 4 games. But the way Barca just ran them off the park today, I'm sorry, that's not normal. And like I said, you got the good and the bad of Barca. I want to give a huge shout out to Rafinha, Yamal, and Lewandowski, because in the first leg, I thought they were completely non-existent. But in the second leg, the 3 of them were exhilarating. This was the front 3 that we saw last season when Barca were just scoring 5 or 6 against anybody. Yamal had a terrible leg in Newcastle, and he had a mistake for one of the goals today. That back heel, very sloppy, which Newcastle punished. But outside of that error, Yamal was much better than he was in the first leg. Grabbed the goal of his penalty, created a few chances as well too, and his movement and his little instinctive dribbles that he does in the center of the park actually created a lot of space for Barca for both their first goal and then one of the goals in the second half as well too. He has these times, right, where he receives it with his back to goal, a defender is on him, and he hits them with one little step and then goes the other way. And the quickness, the quick of feet from Yamal is just too much for defenders like Dan Burn or Tonali, who are decent athletes in their own right. But Yamal is just so explosive in tight spaces that when he gets going like that, it's game over. So I thought he was good today. Lewandowski didn't have his best game in terms of performance, but this guy's just a gunman. Honestly, Lewandowski is just a goal scorer. He will be until the day he dies. And it was another 2 goals to his Champions League tally. But the standout of today has to be Rafinha. 2 goals, I think 2 assists as well too. And he is so important to Barca in terms of just being that outlet, that finisher, that connector as well too, in terms of linking up play, linking up with his fellow attackers. His relentless hard work, his press from the front. Barca are not the same team defensively without Rafinha. You might be thinking, what are you even talking about? But because the press for them is so important, they need a guy like Rafinha up there who is a tireless, selfless runner for this side. Ultimately, it was an absolute demolition. And although Newcastle teased potentially having an upset today, that first half really got uncomfortable for Barca. It was really a game of 2 halves because the second half, it wasn't even a contest. And it just sums up Barca this season. They can concede 5 goals, 4 goals against anybody. But damn it, they can score 6 or 7 against anyone as well too. And that was fully on show today. But if we briefly highlight the other games. Oh, Spurs actually won today. Excuse me. Spurs won 3-2. I forgot Xavi Simons scored a penalty in the last minute. It didn't matter. Atletico won 7-5 on aggregate, so we won't even speak about them too much. Bayern, 4-1 on the night. 10-2 on aggregate. They look like the best side in this tournament, bar none. I want to give, obviously, shout out to Arsenal, who have looked so just consistent. But Bayern, the heights that they're hitting in this competition, the goals that they're scoring. I mean, I asked, can anyone put 7 against Newcastle? Maybe Bayern are the other side, right? Because that attack, whether it's Kane or Jackson, whether it's Olise or Gnabry, whether it's Carl or Musiala, whether it's Diaz or whoever, they just score goals for fun, man. And that goal from Harry Kane, who missed the first leg, but that goal from Harry Kane, oh my God, man. The form he's in right now, I'm sorry, he's Ballon d'Or bound. If Bayern have the season we think they can have, and England have the tournament we think they can have, Harry Kane will win the Ballon d'Or because the goal-scoring form that this guy's in right now, the performances he's dropping game in, game out, are just out of this world, man. I think he is probably the Ballon d'Or favorite if you were to kind of end it today. Now, we know the Ballon d'Or is based on silverware. It definitely is. But he's in a fantastic position to really solidify his place at the top of the tree. Because I'm not sure there's 3 players in the world that are playing at his level. Maybe one of them, though, is his teammate, Michael Olise, who grabbed another goal today. But just in general, again, playing such a good level of football week in, week out. And they might be the best 1-2 punch in football at the moment. Kane and Olise. Showtime. But let's go to the bracket. Congratulations to the 8 sides that have made it to the Champions League quarterfinals. Just a quick recap. PSG beating Chelsea 8-2 on aggregate. Oh my God. First and foremost, guys, before we do that, the Premier League, man. The Premier League. I know we had a segment on them last week, but wow. 8-2. PSG beat Chelsea on aggregate. Liverpool, fair enough. Got it back in blood. Real Madrid 5-1 against Manchester City. Red card tax, I hear it, but still. Dark. Barcelona, 8-3 against Newcastle. Atletico, 7-5 against Spurs. And then, yeah, fair enough, Arsenal. But what does that all come down to, man? This round in the Champions League, the Premier League were outscored 30-18. That's not a good look for the league, man. I'm seeing people already say, wow, that's because they have more time to rest and they don't have as many difficult fixtures. Guys, you can't have your cake and eat it, man. You can't be talking about the Premier League, the strength of the league from top to bottom, and then use that as an excuse for why you're not beating other teams because, oh, we're so tired playing everyone else. Come on, guys. Like, you can't use that as an excuse here. This is a bad couple of weeks for the Premier League, but Liverpool and Arsenal will be flying the England flag high in the quarterfinals. So we have PSG versus Liverpool, Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich, Barca Atleti, and Sporting Arsenal. I predicted this game. I didn't predict this. I thought it was going to be Bayern versus Manchester City. I predicted this, and I thought Arsenal would play Bodo Glimt. So, for the most part, I got most things right, but a few upsets here and there. Let's start with PSG Liverpool. Huge result for Liverpool today. Best they've looked in months. PSG weren't entirely convincing over the 2 legs against Chelsea, despite the scoreline. But I have to be honest, guys. I still see PSG winning this tie. I still think that they have too much quality. And I'm not sure what to make of Liverpool yet, man. Yes, they can play like they did today. But they're also fully capable of playing absolutely poorly on any given day as well, too. And when I look at the midfield organization that PSG have, when I look at the quality they have in attack, and I still look at the uncertainty that Liverpool have across their team, I got PSG going to the semifinals. And I have them facing Bayern Munich. We talked about John Garcia potentially being out for this knockout. Thibaut Courtois faces a similar race to be fit for the quarterfinal. And I'll tell you this right now. If Courtois is fit, Real Madrid have a chance, but I still probably favor Bayern. If Thibaut Courtois is not fit, I give Real Madrid no chance. There is no way, in my opinion, that they will beat Bayern Munich without Thibaut Courtois. But with him, they can beat anybody because he is that good. Let's see what the team looks like with Mbappe back in the team. Let's look at what the team looks like with Jude back in the team. Carreras might be back in the equation. Real Madrid are starting to grow into the season under Arbeloa. Vinny is back in really, really good form. But Bayern are the most exhilarating watch in the Champions League this season. They're coming off an amazing result in Europe, and Harry Kane is in the form of his life. So for that reason, I have a PSG versus Bayern Munich Champions League semifinal. Barca Atletico Madrid. This is uncomfortable, man. This is a very uncomfortable tie for me to predict. These guys have played each other 3 times already this season. 3, right? I think it's 3. I think the first game, Barca won. Then Atletico absolutely thrashed them in the first leg at the Wanda before Barca returned the favor with a 3-0 win at the Camp Nou. So these sides have been exchanging results all week. Atleti, in my eyes, are one of the best teams of the calendar year. I think the Lookman acquisition has really just lit a fire under them. I think Griezmann looks like he's back to a really good level as well too. Alvarez is back amongst the goals. And I just find them to be a really uncomfortable team to play against. Whereas Barca, I continue to say, will score against anybody, but that back line just worries me when it comes to knockout football. One bad day, and you're completely out the equation. Barca should win this. And I wonder as well too, guys, let me know in the comment section below what you think. Is Barca playing this first leg at home an advantage for them or not? Because they could really run rampant in this first leg and make it out of sight. Because I think Barca will win at the Camp Nou. I think Atletico Madrid will be tough away from home. But Barca playing at home might actually favor them, funny enough. Because I think if they rack up a big enough advantage in that first game, it might just be too much of a comeback for Atletico to mount. So for that reason, a part of me really wants to say Atletico. I think if there's going to be an upset in this quarterfinal, it's actually Atletico beating Barca. But I think the first leg being at home at Barca actually gives them an advantage. So I'm going to go for Barcelona here. And then I think Arsenal, I mean, no disrespect to Sporting, who mounted a great comeback against Bodo, but Arsenal have been given the best route to a semifinal of any team. I think they will make light work of Sporting. I don't think it's going to be like Bayern fashion where they win 10-2, but oftentimes of Arsenal, it doesn't have to be. This might just be an easy 3 or 4-1 on aggregate, but like it's not even close. So I go PSG versus Bayern, and I go Barca, Arsenal. But I'm not confident about this tie right here. I'm not whatsoever. I think if any team can beat Barcelona and really punish their back line, Atletico under Simeone, I think might be the team to do it. But guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. What are your big takeaways of the night? How impressive were Liverpool? How crazy was that turnaround in the second half from Barcelona? And who do you have going to the next round? Leave all of that and more down below in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you for another video very, very soon.